Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be telling you my TBR for February's KPopAthon. KPopAthon is a year-long readathon where each month the challenges for your TBR are based around an individual K-pop group. And KPopAthon was created by A Court of Books and Love and Books and Beyond 28, so I will leave links down in the description to both of their channels and to their announcement videos for the February KPopAthon, just so you can see all the challenges and hear them explain it to you. I really wanted to participate in January, which was themed around BAP, but for several reasons I couldn't. I've been focusing on my TBR shelf unhaul books and they didn't really fit into the challenges, and BAP isn't a group that I listen to, so I wasn't like excited enough about the group to like try to force myself into the challenges. But February, the challenges work and it's a group I absolutely love. So the group for February is Got7, and you can't see it because of the camera angle, but I'm wearing my Got7 shirt. It's got their Got7 logo on it, and it's got all their names around the circle. I got it on Redbubble. It's freaking amazing. I love Got7. I'm so excited. Got7 are my babies. They're my alt bias group. I love them. I cannot wait for this readathon. So there are 7 challenges for February, all based around Got7. So I'm gonna go through the list of challenges and tell you what I'm reading for each one. I will also leave some stuff down in the description or up in the cards about Got7 in general, like some unhelpful guides to Got7, which are basically just funny videos introducing the members, because like I said, I love them. They're all such dorky weirdos, and I'm so excited to be doing this. But enough with the rambling, on to the first challenge, which is multinational group. Read a book that has a diverse cast of characters. So basically Got7 is a K-pop group, but actually only 4 of the 7 members are Korean. 3 of them are actually from different countries. They're known as Ameritai Kong within the fandom. So Mark is American, Jackson is Chinese, and Bam Bam is from Thailand. And so they chose a challenge that is based around that. So for this challenge, I'm going to be reading Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is one of my books for my TBR shelf unhaul series, and it follows a cast of I think 6 characters as they're trying to pull off a heist, and from what I understand they're a very ragtag random group of people, so they're all very different, and I've been meaning to read this book for forever, and I'm finally going to get to it in February, hopefully. Challenge number 2 is Just Right, a book about a character that you relate to. So Just Right is one of Got7's biggest hits. It's personally my second favorite song by them. My favorite will forever be If You Do. It's such a fantastic song. But it actually took me a little while to figure out a book for this challenge, but I finally figured it out. So for this, I'm going to be listening to the audiobook of Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. If I mention the central character to this collection of novellas, it could spoil the Mortal Instrument series for people who haven't read it, but basically this follows one of the characters from the Mortal Instrument series as they go through the Shadowhunter Academy, and this is a character that I've always kind of related to in many ways because they share a lot of specific similarities with me, even if our personalities aren't identical. And to be honest, our personalities are actually kind of similar too. Either way, it's a character that I always really liked and related to in the Mortal Instrument series, so I'm going to be listening to the audiobook of this, which shouldn't be too hard because I listen to audiobooks like pretty much every day at work, and it doesn't take me too long to get through them. And also, this is a TBR Shelf Unhaul series book, so awesome. Not all of these on this list are going to be, but this one is. Challenge number 3 is JJ Project. Read a book by 2 authors. So basically, before Got7, there was JJ Project made up of Jin Young and JB, who basically won this competition to get into JYP Entertainment, and then they debuted in 2012 as a duo. So I don't know the full story or the timeline, but they debuted in 2012 and then they kind of didn't do anything else, like they only had the one mini album, and then they re-debuted as part of Got7. And then this past summer, JB and Jin Young had a comeback as JJ Project, and they had this phenomenal title track called Tomorrow Today. So basically at this point, JJ Project is just like a subunit of Got7, but I love them. Their music is just as fantastic as Got7, and Tomorrow Today is one of my favorite songs. It was released all throughout 2017. Anyway, the book that I've chosen for a book that's by 2 authors is Volume 9 of the Battle Royale manga series. So I've explained the premise of this about 1,000 times, but essentially it is the book that the Hunger Games copied. I always say I'm not going to go that far, but like the premises are similar. It takes place in a dystopian society where every year there is a thing called the program that happens in which a class of 9th grade students is put in some sort of isolated location, and it's essentially a battle to the death where one person survives and everyone else dies. The book's amazing and the adaptation has been really great so far, so I'm excited to continue it. For my 30-day reading challenge, I was reading a volume every day, but then I kind of trailed off and started failing at that. But this is by an author and then illustrated by someone and then translated by someone, so technically it's 2 authors and then translated by another. Either way, I really love this manga adaptation of Battle Royale by Koshin Takami, and I'm excited to continue it. So challenge number 4 is where it gets a little bit tricky. Challenge number 4 is choose your bias, read a book related to your bias. So for this challenge, they've created a challenge for each member. So you choose your bias and then you do the challenge that's related to that member. But I'm gonna be doing kind of 2 different challenges in one for this. So I'm going to be doing the challenge for my bias, but I'm also going to be, in addition to that, reading a book that just in general is related to my bias, and you'll understand why in just a minute. So my bias in Got7 also happens to be my alt K-pop bias of all time, alongside Brian from Day 6, and that is the savage, the brainy, the hilarious mom of Got7, Jin Young. Like I said, he's so savage with his members, but he also loves them a lot. Like, he's kind of the textbook definition of he attack, but he protect. Like, he's so savage with his members, and he's so funny, and he's so clever and smart. And I love Jin Young so much. So the Jin Young challenge is to read a book that has been adapted into a TV show or a movie. And for this challenge, I have chosen volume 10 of the Battle Royale manga series because not only has it been adapted into, I think, a couple movies, but this is also an adaptation because it's the manga adaptation. So yeah, honestly, I hope to finish this manga series in February, but given how many books I'm reading, I probably won't. Either way, I definitely want to continue the series at the very least. So then apart from that, I'm also planning on reading a book that just in general is related to my bias, and what I mean by this is that Jin Young and JB are known as the bookworms of the group. They both really like reading, and they often share what books they're reading or have recommended books to fans, and so there's a pretty sizable list of the books that Jin Young owns and has read. So in January, I read 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami, and I really enjoyed it, and ever since I finished it, I've wanted to read more by Haruki Murakami, and it just so happens that Murakami is one of Jin Young's favorite authors. And one of the ones that he has read by Murakami is also the one that I'm most excited to read by Murakami, and that is Norwegian Wood. So the descriptions of Murakami books are typically a bit vague, but it follows a college student as he's kind of in some sort of a love triangle, but it's not really like necessarily a like love triangle story. It's more of like an introspective journey type story, which is kind of what Murakami novels are. But yeah, I'm super excited about this. It's a pretty small book, so I am really glad that I can read a book related to Jin Young and also read this book because I've been really excited about reading it. So challenge number 5 is Goofballs. Read a book that will make you laugh or does make you laugh. And for this one, I'm going to finally be continuing one of my favorite ongoing series, and I'm going to be reading Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray. I'm probably going to have to re-listen to the audiobook of Lair of Dreams just because it's been about 1.5 years since I listened to it and I've forgotten some stuff, but I cannot wait to jump into this. One of the characters in here, Sam Lloyd, just makes me laugh constantly. He's such a snarky, sassy human and I love him, and he just makes me laugh constantly. So very excited to get back into this and to see Sam again because I love Sam. So yeah, not sure if I'm going to physically read this or listen to the audiobook, but I'm probably going to re-listen to the Lair of Dreams audiobook. So challenge number 7 is Agase, or I Got 7, read a book with a green cover. So quick explanation, the fandom for Got7 is I Got 7, and it sounds like Agase in Korean, which is baby bird. So I Got 7s are baby birds, and the Aga Bong, which is the light stick, which the name, who chose that name? Anyway, it has a baby bird inside of it. So like Agase, I Got 7 is the baby birds, which is the fandom. Anyway, the fandom color is green, hence the read a book with a green cover, and for this I've chosen yet another TBR shelf unhaul book, and that is Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. Technically the cover is mostly white, but the only color on here is green, so I'm counting it. This is the Brandon Sanderson book that I have most wanted to read for like, I think at least a year at this point, and I've been meaning to get to it, and I plan to finally get to it in February. And then finally, challenge number 7 is 7 for 7, read 7 books in February. So obviously they're Got7, and their most recent mini album was called 7 for 7, so they're just fully related to all the 7s, and so there are 7 challenges this month, and I have already listed 7 books. That said, I do want to just briefly mention a couple more. I'm not saying that I'm definitely going to get to all of these books because this is a pretty massive TBR for a 28-day month, but we're gonna try here. As of right now, I'm currently listening to the audiobook of A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. I think I will be quite a bit further in it by the beginning of February, but I definitely won't be completely finished with it, so I'm going to be reading this at the beginning of February. And then if somehow I've finished all of those books, or if I just am really in the mood for it because I kind of want to read it, I'm going to be reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This is another one from the TBR Shelf Unhaul series. This is one of the ones that I've been really wanting to get to, and I keep getting distracted and reading other things, so I hope to get to this one either, if not in February, at the beginning of March. So I know I just listed 9 books, which is massive, but one of them I'm already part of the way through the audiobook. 2 more at least I'm planning on listening to on audiobook, I think 2, maybe more than that. And I listen to audiobooks pretty much all day long at work, so I can get through them pretty quickly. A couple are manga, which take like an hour to get through. So I feel fairly confident about the TBR, but like every time I say that, I always fail, so we'll see. I'm not sure if it's going to be up before or after this video, but I am planning on, in the next couple days, finishing up my 30-day reading challenge because I've got a few more days left in that, and posting the vlogs that I've been filming over the month. Also doing a wrap-up for my 30-day reading challenge, doing kind of like somewhat a like wrap-up review type thing, and also talking about the experience of doing the 30-day challenge. So hopefully those will be, if not up before this, up in the next few days or so. The vlogs will probably be up later this week. I think that the wrap-up will take a little bit longer because I don't typically have time to film on days when I have sunshine, so I'll probably have to wait till the weekend to film that, just because the month ends on Thursday, I think. So we'll see. Anyway, that's my plans for the next month. I've gotten a lot of reading done over the past month, which is super exciting, and I hope to do even more in February. Like I said, links to all stuff KPopAthon related will be down in the description. Also, I will leave down in the description links to my blog, Twitter, and Goodreads. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!